So, the Dwarven kingdom and the dwarves themselves are split into two different types. You have the Mountain Dwarves and you have the Hill Dwarves. The Mountain Dwarves are known as more of a traditionally classic dwarf, where they have a very strict caste system and they dwell deep within the mountains. For our mountain dwarves, that is over here, as you can see, in middle of the mountain range that's in the middle of Stasis. If you ask them, the reason for this is because they are the beating heart of Stasis, proud and true. Now, for the mountain dwarves and their caste system, the caste system is indicative of their family. It's something that you're born into, and it's virtually impossible to break out of that caste system. So you have the noble caste, the warrior caste, the smith caste, things like that. And that's also how they represent their clans. How you can tell what caste you're speaking to or what caste you're born into is based on heraldry that they will know forwards and backwards. They're very well versed in the different forms of how things look and what they represent, as well as beards. And in Stasis, beards for dwarves aren't just a male trait. Both men and women will have beards. However, the man beards are more bushy and they're more filled out, whereas female beards are not as bushy as their male counterparts. They believe that this is because of the fact that women have to give birth to men. So some of their power is transferred over into their progeny from their beards. So it's also a sign of fertility in a way. The bigger the beard, the better the female. And then you've got the hill dwarves, which have the same traits with the beards and heraldry, and that's very dwarf-like. But the hill dwarves are actually all the way up here in a place known as Tor Asgrit. Tor Asgrit was actually once a lost city, and the lost city known as Farthengar. Well, we had a hero come through and basically clear it out, a cleric, and she established a new dwarven city. Now, currently, they're trying to connect Farthengar to the capital, but as you can see, it's a very big distance to try and carve through the earth with. So it's constantly being overrun by drow. And with the hill dwarves, they have to be more worldly than the dwarves of Zakgrimraal because they don't just have a large kingdom that they can pull from. So they have a higher wisdom score and they're more likely to trade with humans and elves and gnomes and halflings and all the other races, because if they didn't, they wouldn't survive. Especially since, as you can see, over here, this is actually an elven kingdom. So they're very close and they have to have somewhat of a working, albeit strained relationship in order to ensure mutual survival.